Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you Uchiha Naruto The Sage Part 7, and I hope you guys enjoy. Get this one to 50 like as usual, and after this I'm going to be posting 2 what ifs on my main channel, so I hope you go over and check them out. I'll be leaving a link in top of the description for my main channel. So guys, enjoy. So remember to share to all your friends on your social media platform. And if this is the first time you hear my voice, click that red subscribe button and go down in the description. There will be a link, click on it, and it will be leading to my main channel, which I have over 300 lovely what ifs for you to enjoy. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into this. Start the intro. So basically last time we left off, Naruto has been training with Madara for the entire time. He left a blood clone back at Konoha. For the 3 years, after the 3 years was up, Naruto returned back to Konoha and take part in the graduation exam for the academy, which he passed without ease. Their sensei will be announcing to them in a few days, so Naruto had a time off. Naruto was peacefully sleeping in his bed when he felt hands around his neck, squeezing the life out of him. He remembered that he had a kunai under his pillow, which he quickly took up and stabbed the person to death. When Naruto saw the person's face, he was shocked. So shocked it was his grandfather, Madara. Naruto sharingan turned on uncontrollably, and then it changed and morphed into a new Mangekyou Sharingan. But too much stress and everything, Naruto passed out. So basically that was the last time we left off, but you guys can check it out for yourself and I hope you enjoy. So let's get straight in this part. The moment Naruto fell unconscious, Zetsu appeared in the room. He separated into two, Black Zetsu and White Zetsu. "You clean up the mess. I will take them to the hideout," said Black Zetsu in a dark voice, as White Zetsu nodded. Black Zetsu take up Naruto and Madara as he put a seal on the ground as he said teleportation jutsu. The both of them were teleported along with him as the White Zetsu stayed back and cleaned up the room. In the unknown location, it has been 3 hours since he brought Naruto here. He decided to make Naruto rest, knowing that when Naruto woke up, he will be under lots of stress and worried after knowing that he killed his own grandfather, but there was a reason behind it. Zetsu then saw Naruto's body turning, as he saw Naruto start to regain consciousness. Naruto rose up from the bed and looked around his surroundings. He saw that he was in the room, in his hideout, but he did not remember coming to the hideout. He then saw Zetsu and the memories start to return from last night as the tears ran out of his eyes as he clenched his fist tightly. "I am sorry. I did not mean to kill him. I did not see that it was him," Naruto said to Zetsu while crying his eyes out. It did not matter that Madara was choking him and tried to kill him first. What mattered that he killed his own grandfather, and that was harsh on Naruto. Zetsu looked at Naruto as he didn't like the situation he was currently in. Seeing Naruto cry was unpleasant. "It was not your fault. Madara wanted to be killed by your hands," said Zetsu, making Naruto really confused. Why would he want me to kill him?" Naruto said in pure anger. He was going to die soon. He decided that if he should die, it should be by your hands. Your experience of killing him will awaken your Mangekyou Sharingan. He said that it was the greatest power that he can leave you with, Zetsu replied. Naruto's eyes opened wide. He had killed his grandfather just to awaken his Mangekyou Sharingan? Couldn't he have found another way for me to awaken the Mangekyou? Naruto said to himself. Zetsu then shook his head. No, he was going to die soon anyway. Do you rather he had died on his own and leave you the way you are, or die by your hands and leave you with a Mangekyou Sharingan? The Sharingan was a cursed dojutsu. The things one had to do to evolve it were horrible. This was the price that Naruto had to pay. As Naruto held his head down, still feeling that he had done something terrible. Naruto, it is either you believe that Madara wanted to die by your hands, or you continue to stay there and make his death being in vain by silking yourself into pure guilt. I won't watch over you if you are like this. Zetsu then shook his head. Your grandfather would be disappointed to see you like this. I should know that. I am his will after all, he said. He then disappeared from Naruto's view. Naruto felt conflicted. He knew that his grandfather would be pleased to see him crying. Madara hated any weakness. At the moment, he was in a moment of weakness. If an enemy was to come at him, he would have surely been killed. In this condition that he is in right now, Zetsu was right. He needs to get over this. His grandfather sacrificed his life so that he could get more power and fulfill his wills of the ninja way. The following day, because it was night and 3 hours passed, so it was later in the night. So we skip a couple more hours. Naruto had just finished burying his grandfather. He was not crying. No, Naruto had told himself that he would never cry again. Naruto was now walking calmly inside the hideout with an impassive look on his face and his Mangekyou Sharingan activated. As he then spoke, I will be returning back to Konoha. The Sand Dame must be looking for me because he will not be able to see me inside this crystal ball. He then paused for a moment. In 3 days, I should be meeting my teammates. Some of my secrets will be revealed. There, Zetsu came out of the shadows and spoke. Which secret are you going to reveal? That I am not an idiot. I will release the genjutsu that Madara placed around me and some of my power. But my full power will remain hidden for now, he said as he walked away. As Zetsu nodded and disappeared back in the shadows, Naruto then turned around as he said, I promise, Madara, I will fulfill all of those goals and dreams. Naruto was not going to reveal his dojutsu and his Mokiton bloodline that consists of the Senju and Madara's. But Zetsu is going to love to see the look on the people of Konoha face when they realize that Naruto is not what he seems. He has been playing like a fool for all this time. A few days later at the academy, the whole class was quiet. No one was saying anything. They all just stood there and looked at Naruto. Lots of them looked at him with wise eyes, some of them in disbelief. Remember, Naruto has been training and pushing his body to the absolute limit, getting stronger and more muscular. But Madara placed a genjutsu on him to make him look like the same weak little Naruto. But now Naruto released that genjutsu. Everyone in the class, their thoughts was on Uzumaki Naruto. As they all stared at him, he wasn't in his orange jumpsuit. He looked different. He looked like a totally different person. He was wearing a black long sleeve shirt with the Uzumaki swirl on the front and the back. The one on the back was small, but the one on the front was big and it covered his whole chest. He also wore long black pants and black shinobi boots. He also had black gloves on each of his hand. His blonde hair had grown out. It reached down to his shoulder, and two large bangs from his hair covered a bit of his face. The bang on the right made his eye look a bit invisible as it came down really low. Naruto hasn't cut his hair since he was 7. He let his hair grow for 6 long years. He wanted it to be like Madara when he was older. Naruto whisker mark was still on his cheeks, but they seemed to be disappearing as they were faded. Naruto's face overall looked totally different, with no sign of happiness on his face. His emotion is now like Sasuke, that kind of dark emo emotion. A minute passed and everyone got over their shock. "Is that Naruto?" a random girl in the class asked with disbelief. "Yeah, that's him," as another girl said. "It's kind of hot." A Sasuke Uchiha fangirl did not like hearing that. He might have changed his clothes, but he is still the dead last. Who cares if he's the dead last? He graduated, and what matters most is he's hot, another girl said, as the two girls started to argue. And you all know who the other one was. It was Sakura. "Maybe he's not hot as Sasuke-kun," Sakura shouted as they argued for a few minutes until the both of them calmed down. Today they were not going to meeting with Iruka. He has already told them his final speech and everything, because today they will be meeting with their senseis, but no one knows who their sensei is yet. A group of Jonins walked in the class as they looked at Naruto and eyed him suspiciously. Most of them knew him, but his change is so sudden. As Naruto looked up, only two Jonins interested Naruto, as he were familiar with them. Asuma Sarutobi, the son of the third Hokage. The next one who he was familiar with was Kurenai Sensei, because Naruto always wanted to learn Genjutsu, but because of his status in the village, he just watched her train most of the time, but he didn't interfere or anything. He knew that she was the sensei for Team 8. The other senseis then show up as the classroom got clear, leaving only Team 7 behind, as they were the only one left in the class. They waited for 2 more hours as their sensei didn't arrive yet. Naruto hated that the man was late. "Where the hell is he?" Naruto muttered to himself. He was not. Please. He hated people wasting his time, and he was starting to get furious. Team 7 has been waiting for over 2 hours, and no one has come into the class yet to claim them as their Jonin. Over the time, Sasuke has been stealing glances at Naruto, who's been quiet ever since he entered the class. Sasuke was curious about the changes in Naruto, but his pride stood in the way of asking Naruto what happened to him. Sakura was being Sakura, but she did not try to say anything to Naruto. It was because of the emotionless look on his face. It was different from Sasuke. With Naruto, she knew that he was kind of always joyful. He always had that smile on his face. Even though the people in the village seemed to hate him, he always looked up for the better. But now, it was like nothing was there. A few minutes later, a man walked in the class with white spiky hair, with a mask covering most of his face. As he looked around the class, a bored expression showed in his right eye, as he then took out an orange book and looked in it, starting to read it like he didn't even care to them. "Copy Ninja, Kakashi Hatake. I should have known that he would be selected to be Team 7 Sensei," Naruto thought, as he then focused on where the mask was, already knowing what hid under that. "At least I didn't get a weak sensei," he said to himself. Kakashi then looked back up as he narrowed his eyes at Naruto. Sarutobi had told Kakashi all about Naruto, and he realized that Naruto had changed so drastically. He then shut his book as he said, "You guys must be Team 7, very lazily. Meet me on the rooftop in 5 minutes." And without anything else, he disappeared in a puff of smoke. Naruto too disappeared in thin air. As Sasuke turned to look, realizing that Naruto was gone, he then clenched his fist. He walked away with Sakura following behind him with a confused look on her face. She was confused because Sasuke seemed very angry at something. She could only guess that it was because Naruto just had to disappear in thin air like that. But she questioned herself. How was he able to do that? And why is Sasuke so angry? On top of the roof, Kakashi looked at Naruto curiously. This was certainly not the Naruto he was expecting to see. What surprised him the most that Naruto appeared on the roof like 2 seconds after he did. He could have not done that with pure speed. He had used some sort of teleportation. It surprised him because Naruto was not supposed to know that jutsu at his level. Those jutsu was a Chunin level jutsu. So how did Naruto was able to use it? Kakashi said as his eye got lazy again, waiting for the other two. They finally showed up as they came on the roof. Sakura looked out of breath while Sasuke, was Sasuke with that bland look on his face. Looking at Sakura, Kakashi could tell that this girl lacks physical training, meaning that she is probably physically weak. By the look of things, seeing that the girl did not train at all if she lost her breath by just climbing some stairs. Sasuke then looked at Naruto for a moment before taking a seat beside him. But Naruto did not turn or say anything. He just sat there like Sasuke didn't even exist. Something that seemed to trouble him greatly. He hated to be ignored, especially by the dope of the whole class. Kakashi then looked down at his book as he never took his eyes off it as he spoke. "Alright now everyone, like how you're here, introduce yourself. Tell us your name, your likes, your dislikes," he said in a very bored tone. Sakura didn't seem to get it. "Sensei, why don't you go first? And so we can get the drift of things," she said in a playful tone. Kakashi took his eye off his book and looked at the girl. She was supposed to be smart. How could she not understand something like this? "Well, very well. My name is Kakashi Hatake, and my interests are none of your business. My likes are none of your business, and my dislikes are none of your business. And my dreams, well, I'm not going to tell you that," he said as he went back to his book. "All you gave us was your name." Sasuke and Sakura thought at the same time, as they both sweat dropped. But Naruto showed no reaction as he just looked at the sky above him, seeing that Kakashi is looking down at his book. "You are next," Kakashi said as he looked at Sakura. Sakura then nodded and introduced herself. "My name is Sakura Haruno, and my likes are," she looked over at Sasuke and blushed. "And my dreams are," she looked over at Sasuke and giggled. She then started to giggle insanely for a moment, as Sasuke was simply ignoring her. "My dislike is Ino Pig." She then paused and looked at Naruto, as she let out a sigh of relief, as he was not looking at her. She was kind of scared the way he looked at people now. But since that he was not looking, she said, "And Naruto too. She disliked him as well," she said very loudly. Naruto ignored her, like he could really care. He simply was still looking up at the sky. Kakashi looked at her for a second, as Naruto didn't really care what she said. She was so weak and pathetic, it wasn't like she can do anything. "A fangirl," said Kakashi. "Team 7 is going to be hard if they pass," he thought to himself, as he then looked at Sasuke and said, "You're next. My name is Uchiha Sasuke, and I hate a lot of things." but I only have one goal. Well, it's more like my ambition to make it a reality. I am going to restore my clan and kill a certain someone. Sasuke is so cool, Sakura thought, not even caring that he said he's going to kill someone. As Kakashi looked at him with a curious face, knowing who he's speaking of. Kakashi knew that he had to do something to make sure that Sasuke stay out of the dark path. He then looked at Naruto as he said, "You're next." Uzumaki Naruto was all that he said. He waited for a couple of minutes, but Naruto didn't say anything else. No one was expecting that kind of introduction. Even Sasuke was caught off guard by that. Yes, Naruto has changed and he seemed quiet and calm, but he did not expect Naruto to introduce himself like that. While Sakura was fuming, she thought that Naruto was trying to be cool. She didn't like anyone trying to be cooler than Sasuke. Even Sarutobi almost fell off his chair in his office as he was watching them through his crystal ball. But guys, I'm gonna end this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on that bell notifications they posted, and remember, share this one to all of your friends on your social media platform. But I'm out for now, guys. Peace.